Hey, this is Christie Marie, and you're listening to a recording I did of a series of 24 live group sessions on clearing abundance blocks. And here's what we're going to cover in this session. First, I'm going to introduce you to energy. It's the good stuff that we're going to be working with. We'll talk a little bit about what it is, how you may or may not feel it, and give you some solid energy foundation to launch you into a successful unlimited abundance journey program. Second, we're going to challenge many of the lies that people learn in life. Lies about change, lies about money and abundance, and we're going to break down many of these lies and the patterns that they create that often run us on autopilot without even being aware of it. And finally, we're going to start clearing out some of the old gunk. I'll introduce you to connecting to the light and some clearing statements that you can use to clear your energy and get things flowing. And we will begin clearing out the energy of the autopilot lies and patterns about change, money, and abundance. So let's begin. Hello, welcome to Unlimited Abundance Journey. This is Christie Marie. Thank you so much for joining this program. I am so thrilled that you're here. I want to thank you for showing up, not for me necessarily, but I want to thank you for showing up for you. You know, often we don't acknowledge ourselves, and I want you to really get the download that you deserve it. I would love it right now if you grab a journal, a piece of paper, take some notes while we're doing this. Be open to new awareness. And let's set our intent on what we hope to accomplish in this program. I know people don't normally say this kind of thing, but I want you to bring all your junk to the front. Yeah, bring all your baggage up so we can clear it tonight. And let's all begin a happy, new, abundant journey of, a lot of gorgeous clearings. Now, when a group of people gather together for one big experience, there's this cool group energy structure that gets created, kind of like a family for a while. But I also made sure that I added into the energy structures that any future time you listen to this or any other future person is listening to this, you will receive whatever energy you need and have that come through as well. You know, time is something you can travel forward and backward in, and we can bring our energy past, present, or future. If you think about something from the past, you're connected to it. The same as imagining something in the future. You're connected to it. So people listening in the future is going to get some help too. And you're all here at the right place at the exact right time for you. What you attract to this energy field depends upon you, and it's all about you in this webinar. I can offer the energy, I can bring it forth, I can open the door, I can show you the way, but you must be the vessel that receives the energy. You're all aware beings, and even though we're working with this energy, and I get it, for some of you this energy thing can feel like nothing, and for other people this energy thing can feel like a lot of intensity. But it doesn't matter if you feel or don't feel, because even if you don't feel and you shut off some of your feelings, you're going to start getting over it in this energy field. I've worked with over 10,000 people one-on-one, thousands more through my telecourses and courses, and you'll be able to feel and know that it's working for you at some point in the course, okay? So it might be a little whisper at first, it might be louder later on, or it might be super duper loud in 2 seconds, okay? Everybody's different. And if you shut off your feelings, you're really not going to feel a lot, okay? But you'll see that there are signs that you might start feeling more relaxed, more peaceful, really cool things show up. You'll see signs, don't worry, that something new is happening. And this energetic level that we're going to be working with is who you are as a soul, as a conscious being, and eventually, hopefully, within this 12 weeks. And I've seen it happen really fast on people when they're willing to tune into the energy level that I'm talking about. You'll be able to really perceive the energy just like I do, and you'll know for sure that it's working for you. So trust me, as long as you're open, it's going to show up. We're bringing profound energy and enlightenment through this teleseminar. And if you have blocks on feeling, it means that you probably checked out at some time or felt that it wasn't safe to be here or be in your body and all sorts of other things. So even though we're working on abundance, you're going to end up clearing those things too. Because the real thing with manifesting is you have to be willing to be present and ask for things to show up. And part of your being present is really connecting to your body and being in it. All right. So we're going to work on that. Now, have you ever noticed that sometimes you just look at things and it changes? I mean, you read something, you create a new awareness in that moment. You overhear somebody talking, it creates a new awareness. And by looking at things, just being aware of something new, things change. And even in science, they've proved that. If you look at a molecule, the molecule will move according to the energy and the perception of the person viewing it. So if the person looking at it thought it would bounce across the room, that's what it would do. If the other person looked at it and they thought it would move in circles, that's what the molecule of light would do. So just by you showing up and listening with intent is going to change you. Just that. So just by being you changes a lot of things. So thank you for being here. All right, so your energy and light. And in this course, I'm going to tune into the energetic vibration that is truly you. For some of you, this is a little kind of off the charts, not normal to talk about. But as we know, everything is energy, and this light is basically the prima materia, the pure consciousness that runs through every object that's on this planet. A rock, a tree, every energy that runs through the atoms that holds everything together is consciousness. And when we tune into this level, this is the level where a reality is started to form. And we're going to play with this kind of energy. And this is the place that we have to change your life from. I'm really practical though. So even though I'm a bit esoteric in this moment, what you're going to see with me is that I'm a really practical girl. And we're going to walk you through what that would look like in your life. So don't worry, we're going to teach you. And at the end of this, you'll pretty much be able to do a lot of the things that I do. And I actually hope you can do more. Wouldn't that be fun, right? Okay, so are you guys ready to change? This webinar today is all about busting open some of the lies that we believe in. The interesting thing with a lie is a lie can stick you to the wall, basically. It's like sticky glue. A lie can stop you from creating change. And one of the first lies that I want to cover is the lie that we often think, which is, I can't change. A lot of us are doing the same habits day in and day out, and we think, well, nothing is changing in my life. Well, there's actually a lie here, and here's the lie. If you're a vibrating, oscillating energy field of molecules that dance and change in every second, you're always changing. So the lie right there is that you're not changing, but you're always changing. And so you don't have to look at your life the same once you get this whole concept, because instead of fighting and resisting and trying to stay stuck in the same daily routines, think about how much force and energy an infinite being, which is you, has to put against itself to stay the same day in and day out. I mean, that's quite a trick. That's quite a talent. You're taking the same kind of energy and the same experience and locking it into your body and into your being and into your habits, the same thing over and over and over again. And what if this infinite being called you decided to actually allow and quit resisting and reacting to change? What if you actually just went with change, moved through change, just really went for it? So what's going to happen is we're going to start clearing so many patterns in these 12 weeks that we're basically going to go layer upon layer. Walls are going to fall down and all sorts of interesting things are going to happen. And all of your raw power, this prima materia, is basically going to show up for you in the way that you want it. And so what I'm going to urge you to do during this is pay attention to the same kinds of daily routines and the things that you're doing, even if they're on autopilot. Have you ever noticed that you don't have to tell your body to breathe? You don't have to explain to your heart it has a beat. It's on autopilot. Well, some of these exact energies that you've got going on that create these habits are also on autopilot. Now, breathing and having your heartbeat are really good things. It allows you to be here. But for some of the other things that you have on autopilot, they might not actually be working for you. And they might actually be the things that are creating your life to not change when you say, things never change for me. These could be your walls. So we're going to go through some of these autopilot programs and we're going to clear these so that you can be free up some of your raw talent, your ability, and your energy, and let life express through you. Abundance is really just a consciousness. You have this whole thing that abundance is somehow separate from you. But if you really look at raw consciousness, prima materia, raw power, the kind of energy that your soul lets run through every part of its being. It's completely abundant because it runs and runs and runs, and it never really stops, right? So it is all possible from this level. Everything is changing and morphing and forming from this level. It moves through your heart, basically. It moves into your world, kind of like a vortex, actually. The molecules get denser and denser and denser, forming your body and your life. And you're really, though, you always are the light that you've always been looking for. And you're pretty much the gift of the energy exchange of abundance that you've always been looking for. You are this energy. And we're going to start clearing energy all along the call. So today it's going to be a little different. We're going to do the energy clearing at the end because I have to set a little bit of a foundation. But from now on every single call, I'm going to talk about a concept. We're going to stir up the muck, and then we're going to clear it. And I'm going to purposely push your buttons. I love you enough to basically push your buttons. And again, some of you will feel it and some of you won't. But the thing is, what drew you to this class is your soul saying to you, hey, it's time to clear up these same old stories. It's time to get rid of some of the buttons that you have that are reacting or stopping you. And the thing is, change can happen. You know how sometimes a musician can become an overnight success? The thing is, all the musicians I know say they were never an overnight success. What happened is they've been practicing. They've been showing up in their life, and they've laid the foundation and the groundwork. So in this program, we're going to be laying the foundation and the groundwork. And any time in this program, it could be after a day or after a month. But if you fully participate, you will find yourself to be different. Whatever you need to show up for you could just pop, like literally pop right into your reality. And that's how funny it is with energy. At the moment you keep thinking it doesn't work, you are throwing a huge ass counterintention into what you're trying to manifest. So we're trying to work on clearing all the reasons why you think things don't work in your life, because that's always going to be a block. Some of you might believe in past lives. I do. When we're clearing some of these things, we actually do go into other lifetimes where you've been blocked in things. You don't always show up here with a clean slate. It'd be nice if we could. But sometimes we have some other things that are locked in our bodies, and you might not be aware of it. So I'm going to teach you about all these things, and we're going to clear them. I'm going to talk to you about another lie that happens in this world. And the other lie that we believe in is that we are right and we are wrong. Because in truth, everything is just a perception, a world view that we've taken on. If you say abundance is bad, money is bad, that is just the way you look at it. To other people, money is great. Okay, so that's not really truth with a capital T. You're an infinite being in a body. That's truth with a capital T. And that's not a judgment. That's actually just what is. So when you make yourself wrong, you create another block, and another wrongness gets vibrated into your world, and you lock more energy in. When you make yourself wrong, you also feel guilt and shame, which are lower vibrations. This consciousness and this energy that we're working on can sneak in and just go kaboom, just like blow out all the crap out of the water. We're going to show you how to literally unlimit yourself and allow more and more of the flow to show up in your life. When you're in the flow, you're being loving, kind to yourself, you're letting the goodness in that's truly you. From the infinite energetic world literally is going to come through your life. And here's a little lie that we all believe. We all believe the lie, or I shouldn't say all, but most of us, that somehow choosing from the wrongness of us somehow makes us smart or aware. So I'm going to show you something. Let's just say I'm going to do something stupid in my life, and I'm just going to make fun of myself. And yes, I still do stupid things. But when I do something silly, I laugh at myself, and laughter literally opens the flow for more and more change. So I don't sit around focusing on my mistakes or my wrongness. If you were to ask me, for instance, what is the last silly/stupid thing I ever did, I probably can't tell you because I blew it up and blew up the energy that created it. I did not let that be in my reality anymore, just sitting around. I don't go around thinking, how did I get so wrong? How could I make that mistake? What you guys may have noticed, as a lot of people do, is they go around thinking 100 times a day, what did I do that was so wrong? How did I create that mistake? I can't believe I was so wrong. How could I mess up so much? How come this thing in my life won't change? What and why does this keep happening to me? And if we think these things 100 times a day, as a little thought that kind of happens behind the scenes, like what's wrong with me? All these things, you're showing the universe what it is that you actually want because you're seeking to understand. Why does this keep happening? Then you're only seeking to understand it, therefore you're standing under it. And if you're standing under it, you can never get over it. Now, what does laughter do? And what does non-judgment do? It actually helps you get over it because you are no longer stuck in the understanding of it. Now, some people would say, oh, well, you're just denying things. No, you're not really denying things if you're choosing to look at what you did and make a new choice and decide not to do it again, right? What I am suggesting is let's quit beating ourselves up, move to the higher vibration. This kind of flow, this kind of energy that I'm trying to model for a minute is actually the real energy that will create the most amount of change. I want to talk to you a little bit about where do you wish to be at the end of this program? What's really cool about what we're doing is that you can type answers in the comments section because I want this to be, like imagine I'm standing in front of you and I have a big whiteboard and you're all in this big classroom with me and we're all sharing and helping each other. Okay. It's going to be that kind of experience. And you're going to do it by typing through to me on the webinar. So what do you want to have happen for you? Where do you wish to be at the end of this program? Okay. So here are some of the responses that are coming in. Mary Kay wants to be fully confident in her finances and money to flow abundantly. All right. I always get one of these. I love this. So thank you, Buddy. Buddy wants to be the winner of multi-millions. Now, you see, some spiritual people, teachers would say, oh, that's crazy. You know what? I actually don't think it's crazy. I've actually won 5 numbers in the lottery twice. So you know what? I think it can happen. I don't think that there's any, it's just an interesting perspective. And if you're aware enough to grab the numbers, then good for you. All right. So this is Lex. I plan to feel less stuck and burst forward with clearly defined goals and move on some projects that I've been holding back. Awareness and release of these blocks. I love this. Awareness. There are only 2 things an infinite being can be. And that's be aware and make choices. Let's see what else we've got. Career change. Thanks, Roman. Sheila, she's very specific. She wants to make 15 grand a month and create family time. That's the whole thing about money. It should be pleasurable, right? Abundance, it should be pleasurable. It should get us what we actually want. Sarah wants an abundance of love. Nicholas wants to use his connection to source. You know what? It's the most powerful thing you could ever do. Let's see. There's a few others. Full of fun, joy, lots of money, winning at being myself. I want to have a huge income after expenses. Hey, Jack, you know what? I love how you phrase that. That's actually how I phrase my manifestations. I will focus on the profit because that means I am profitable. I love that. Good job, Sandra. Sue wants to be completely and passionately in love with her husband. What about completely and totally in love with yourself? That's really lovely. That's my favorite word, by the way. Lovely. I love it. All right. Learning through loveliness. That's who I am. Okay. So this kind of view is basically being in love with yourself and being lovely. So thank you, Gabrielle. Cindy's got a good one. Make a difference in people's lives. And you know what? That's a really admirable thing. One of the first things that people do is they say they want to have money or win money or whatever so that they can help people, make a difference in people's lives. And you know what? That's so cool. A few other people want to work on the fear of success and be able to not worry. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, Christy. Another Christy, hello. Nancy wants to use her gift of music to heal things. Okay. You know, what this is really all about is us all using our gifts. Really? That's just what it is. Okay. Whatever your gifts are, you're infinitely talented in something. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, guys. Hey, so this is a really cool wish list, right? Be fully confident in your finances, money to flow abundantly, feel like it's heaven on earth, winning the lottery, ending procrastination, career change, remove blocks, $15,000 a month and creating some family time, abundance of love, using your connection to source, loads of profit, being in the flow, being in love with your hubby, in love with yourself, making a difference in people's lives, no worries, overcoming fear of success, and using our gifts. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for this. That's why you guys showed up here. So whether or not you know it, consciously or not, this is what your soul wants for you. This is what you want for you. And that's what we're going to do. A lot of cool things to make it happen. I want to talk about change and being the change you wish to see in the world. The most important thing on this call is actually you. You guys actually made a choice. You made a choice for change, and that's what showed you up here. Choice and the energy behind every choice is really the thing that creates the reverberation out into your world. If you can breathe into life with yourself wide open in the flow, that's really the expression of yourself manifesting through you. Okay, so let's talk about one more lie. And the other lie that I want to talk about that was actually brought up in the wish list thing, but basically the lie is that you are not enough. Now, how happy does that make you feel when you think about that? I am not enough. It feels crunchy, right? Like, ugh. Because the real truth is an infinite being is actually quite much more than enough. So you use all this force, you put it against yourself, and we're going to knock all these things down, okay? Now, where do all these lies come from that you're not enough? They come from a lot of places. It becomes kind of embedded in the consciousness of the planet. It comes from our parents, society, or religion. You know, nobody wants us to get too happy, too out of control, too happy. Fun people are out of control, right? A little bit, in a good way. I don't mean out of control crazy. I mean like out of control, like they have boundless energy to make anything in their life happen. That's really what I mean by out of control. It's boundless. There is no boundaries. And if we're too happy, it creates a lot of change. And if it creates a lot of change, then people have to go along with it. And there's, these embedded beliefs and fears in society that we should all just kind of contain ourselves. So what if I invite you to be so much change that you drive everybody around you a little nuts? You'd basically be so potent that you kind of like stir the energies of those around you by having so much fun and showing them that you're completely and totally enough just as you are. And basically, this means that you've opened up to the flow. That's really what this means. And when you're opened up to the flow, you're aligned with that consciousness, basically infinite potential, infinite love, infinite strength. So you basically get to love your life, which is the whole point of being here. I mean, love everything into existence. Let's talk about opening the door to unlimited possibilities. One of the other lies that happens on the planet, and this is kind of an insidious lie, we actually don't get that it's a lie because we think that our only options are those options that we've seen from all the people around us. So your ideas, how you go and create the world, are all made of energy, right? So these ideas you probably bought and sold from somebody around you and how they created their world. So you come into your body, you mimic mom and dad because you want to make them happy, so they love you, so they feed you and clothe you, and if they're happy, then you get happy, right? So then you choose options from this limited box called mom and dad, and you only make these options because you want to make them happy, unless you're a rebellious person or a spirited person, which a lot of light workers really are because they don't really like to do rules. They don't really like to lock themselves in boxes, but then you get in trouble, you get squashed because you actually made a new choice different than that was being made from anybody else around you. And that's where we get all these patterns from, by the way. Now, who else squashes us a little bit? Lots of things. Teachers, authority figures, TV. Like if you only have the best designer or the right pair of jeans, can you be included? You have to have the right bag in order to be rich. All those things limit your ability to choose whatever you truly want for yourself. So obviously your dream's going to be a little different than everybody on this phone call tonight and all the 6 billion or 7 billion people on the planet now. So your dream is obviously your dream. So create and attract things into real life from either one of two ways. You either attract things to your life from the old evidence appearing real, and that's the evidence that we see around us. Or two, you make some new choices And you make these with loving kindness and total awareness. And why am I choosing this old reality when I can actually choose something new for me? You ask questions, you decide something different. You wouldn't really need this seminar if you only made choices for the next 12 weeks that were loving and kind to you and were truly pointed in the direction that you really wanted to go to without hesitation. And some of you are going, well, I can't do that because I have to work at a job and I have to do this and I have to do this. So we're going to work through these blocks and we're going to talk about these because these are all your have-tos, your woulda, coulda, shouldas, and these have-tos are basically putting you in jail, and we're going to help you get out of jail with the free card, right? The freedom card. These choices to be lovingly kind to yourself will completely align you with your life purpose. The reason you're here and the reason you breathe and the reason your life or whatever it is drives you and makes you happy is the ability to make this thing called free choice, okay? We're going to dispel any lie that you are not enough and you can't truly live like this. Every choice that you make in the future has a frequency to it, and the frequency can either be a high vibration or low vibration. All of it, though, is just really energy at the end of the day. And you make a choice to just vibe with this energy. So I will say, if you're going to make a low vibration choice, some people would say, oh, eating a sugar cookie is horrible, right? It's got sugar, it's got carbs, it's got butter. But I will say, if you're going to make the choice to eat the sugar cookie, you shouldn't, but you make that choice, you either eat the sugar cookie and feel guilt, or you eat the sugar cookie, you make a choice, and you totally love it and feel joy in it. And there's a totally different frequency to that. And that frequency kind of in a weird way actually transmutes a lot of the negative. So what I've noticed is that when we do life and we live the energy of joy and pleasure, fun and joy, all of that, you're actually being who you are from the highest consciousness. Infinite beings feel light, happy, aware, free from guilt, shame, fear, solidness, seriousness, and all those kind of things that basically lock you back in these boxes where you don't actually get any real choice. So we're going to have you focus this week on choices that you're making. And that's going to be your play work a little bit later. If you have to make a choice and you feel good about that choice, you get more life in you. Not everybody knows what a good choice is until you've made it long enough. Have you ever noticed that sometimes you're not sure if this choice adds life to you or it doesn't add life to you? Until maybe somewhere in the future. So we're going to be working on creating enough truth in you that you can be actually aware of, if I make this choice, where does it take me in 5 years, 20 years, 2 days? All right? Because that would be loving and kind to you. I'm going to talk to you about playfulness for a minute. I love to play. I love to play because play is an expression of who you are. You take every ounce of your energy and you move it through your body, doing the highest vibration of joy and loving life. And if you act like you're having fun for long enough, and you let that energy run through your body, you're basically keeping the doors open, and that creates a lot of new options. And these options come from this playfulness, this feeling, which is really kind of an inspiration, an inspirational energy. You get inspired. It's the energy inside and just kind of spirals out in a weird way and just boom, goes into your world. Goes into your world, opens the door, and lets you be however you want to be in the future. Have you ever noticed that the actors and actresses who get to play new characters in their lives, they get to try on new thoughts and new ideas. They get to see the world through another character's eyes. And that's actually really, 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 really good because they get used to the fact that they get to bop into other worlds and other realities, try it on, and then they get to keep what works for them. What if you just looked at your life that way and you didn't get so attached to all these stories? You said, wow, this thing that I've been being for the last 20 years, I could just drop it and change it and be something different. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to invite that kind of playful spirit inside of you while we're going through this journey so that you don't get all serious and crunchy and hard work and no play and all that kind of stuff. It's going to make it harder for you to shift, I promise you. Playfulness even makes you feel confident. We're always going to be nudging you towards play And have you ever noticed that you sometimes think, oh, I can't play, I feel guilty? Well, what if your soul is always expressing to you these little permission slips, these kind of kind and gentle nudges that say, hey, why don't we try something different? But we shut it down because we're so used to the other way. So we're going to work on clearing this whole expression of you, this whole playful expression. Your soul doesn't want you to shrink or shirk your responsibility. I'm not saying that. But it does want you to play and become more in the flow. Think about the flow. You connected to source, flowing that kind of light and love out into your world, into the future. It's expressing source energy, no judgment, playing basically who you really want to be in the future, but doing it now. And that's going to be an amazing, amazing life for you if you can create from that place. All right, so let's talk for a minute about what happens when you start working on this energy plane, this higher consciousness. At the end of the day, you're going to have to embrace something different, okay? And this something different might not be what you ever expected, because it's probably going to be something, who knows? I mean, all I know with manifesting is the more I get into the spirit of play, open-heartedness, and just push myself to be more of me, whatever that looks like, the universe will just keep bringing and bringing and bringing. And all your walls fall down. You know, it's really interesting. How many of you have ever noticed that you go to manifest something really, really big? And I've heard this story, by the way, so many times. I wish I had $1 for every time I heard it. But you say, manifesting doesn't work for me. I went and did it. The exact opposite thing happened to me. And some of you are going, yeah, that's right. The universe is cruel and punishing and torturous, and it wants to torture you into submission so you don't ever actually ask for anything. I mean, I've heard lots of stories from people saying, the universe brings me nothing. I'm not doing this manifesting thing. It brings me the opposite. But here's what's really going on. I want you to really, really get this concept. You're saying, I want something different in my life, finally. And your soul is saying, wow, really? Awesome. I'm going to totally help you do that. And then your soul is saying, but I love you so much, I'm going to actually show you all your stuff that's in the way. Because you asked for it, so I'm going to show it to you, and then you can let go of it, and then we'll be done with it, and then you can get what you really, really want. Because your soul is now happy because it's like, wow, you haven't been listening before, so honey, I'm going to show you what's in the way. Now, does your soul do that so it can punish you and torture you into submission so you don't ask anymore? No. If you are willing to be totally in tune and listen to your intuition, your soul would just say, hey, you have this belief. I mean, this is what happens in my own head, by the way. Hey, Christie, it seems like you have this belief called you have to work hard. And so then what happens is I go, really? I have that belief still? You know, talking to myself, basically. And then, yeah, you have to still have that belief. And then kaboom, and I just blow it up, and then I no longer have the belief. Okay, that's how it really should work. Okay, but we've never been taught that you can actually just check inside, you can get an answer, and once you have the answer, you clear it. And when the universe shows something to me, when my soul shows something to me, I just laugh about it. I go, really? I still believe that silly thing? Oh my God, that's so funny. I just blow it up, laugh about it, and just get on with it. I don't go into the drama of, oh my God, blah, blah, blah just happened. I can't believe it. You know, I just blow it up and go, wow, that's so cool. Thank you for showing that to me. Myself, I'm talking to myself, of course. Talking to myself in my own universe, going, that is so cool that you're showing that to me. Thank you so much. Now I can get rid of it. Okay, so it's a different perspective. One's a totally empowered response, and one is a response where you felt disempowered, and you probably felt disempowered because you didn't have any tools, and that's totally okay. So we're going to give you some techniques so that you can blow everything up that's not what you want, and invest in yourself, and bring more of the good stuff in. Whew. All right, so all the ways that you look at the world will probably be shown to you on this journey. And then you're going to have to start asking them questions and say, wow, so if I had that belief that I just used as an example, I have to work hard. And I say to myself, is this true? Do I want this to be true for me? And if the answer is no, that this doesn't work for me, then I'll clear it. Okay, so you're going to be shown things, and then you really, really honestly have to choose. Do you want to keep it or you want to let it go? All right, so here are some of the rules that you're going to play with in the next 12 weeks. And I hesitate to say rules. We'll say guidance. How about that? For those of you who don't really know me very well, I don't do rules. I just do awareness. I really don't do rules. I was a funny little teenager who would, say screw that to all the rules. I really was. You have to be willing to see if you really want a certain reality. Oftentimes people are just afraid to actually look at what they're doing. I mean, it's kind of like this. If you say you want to be organized, but every part of your house is full of junk, there's pretty much a counterintuitive something going on, right? Okay? So you're going to have to really, really start looking at some of the things that you've been avoiding that may be blocking you. If you don't pay your credit cards off every month, you might have to actually look at that, right? That's not a bad thing because remember, you look at something, you change it. Okay, so it's going to be really, really fun. But I've seen people afraid to just really look at what's going on. But again, do it with non-judgment. Love it that it came up. Who cares that it's there? Let it go. All right. Here's another cool trick that we're going to do during this journey. You're going to try things on. Yeah, you're going to try things on. So let's just say you have a job. You're going to try it on and say, wow, does this really fit for me right now? And you might come to the conclusion, I deserve to be happy more than I deserve to be doing this job. A lot of people on this journey, they try to please everybody around them, including their family, and then they don't change. It's like really this power struggle about being happy or not happy. I always have this funny, cool thing. If you've ever looked up the definition of weird, you actually find that the definition means supernatural. And so I actually think we're all pretty weird. I really do. I think we're all pretty weird. So what if everybody down here is trying to be normal and you're really weird and you're trying to do all the silly things that all the normal folks are doing around here, but they actually are pretty much insane, totally abnormal. If you look at a lot of people, they actually, there's a lot of sane people on this call who actually really get it. But what if you've been doing the world where you actually look at everybody else and you go, wow, they're really normal. I guess I'll be like them. But what if you were really gifted and you just turned down all your gifts? I mean, that's kind of what happens, really, really. So we're going to get you more happy where you're actually just being yourself and not shrinking to everybody else's reality. And in that way, you grow your confidence, you grow your power, you become the amazing gift that you are to yourself. You step into yourself, you step up to the plate, you love yourself to be brave enough to kind of stand out there and be fully you. You don't bend to anybody else's reality. And you're going to embrace this new kind of way that you are. It's going to be fun. And in a way, this is also choosing for the love of you. Choosing so you can receive more love. You have to be willing to live in truth. And part of that means being willing to see your own stuff and willing to see other people's stuff that might not be there normally. And it's not there normally because now you're actually finally looking at it. And when you're really looking at it, it's not about blaming or fighting them. It's just about, I don't really choose what they're choosing to put on me. That's not who I am. The other thing for living a conscious, aware life is you're going to have to clear the density in the old stuff, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And clearing the density in the old stuff in the moment that comes up is really what's required. I don't really live with my stuff anymore. If something comes up in my life that I don't prefer, I just clear whatever energy created that showing up in my world. And I pretty much, I can't remember the last time I was annoyed or bothered, but, I never take any of that stuff personally. Okay, I just look at it, go, that's kind of interesting, and then I let it go. Yeah, so that's how you live life. You don't make it personal. Somebody's stuff is their stuff, and your stuff is your stuff, and just move on. You don't have to bend to their world. So we're going to sort out some things and find out what's true for you. And we're going to give you all sorts of definitions because I think a lot of the lies that we have attached to abundance and money are just that, lies. And you can't really, lies are going to stick you and lies are not going to let you move forward. Have you ever noticed that we never talk about money in this reality? Money is like this secret, you don't teach people how to make it, how to keep it, how to grow it, how to nurture it, how to tend to it. But we can watch TV and we can learn how to kill people. But we can't talk about it. We can learn on TV how to cover up our crimes. We can learn how to solve all the crimes. We learn all these other dastardly things. And we keep secret the thing that would actually help all of us. I mean, the more you have of abundance, The more abundance in any form, it could be love or money or anything, the more you get to help people on the planet and the more fun and joy in life that you get to bring to the table. Here's one of the questions. What's your definition of money and abundance? All right, so somebody typed abundance means I get to stop beating myself up. Yeah, how many of you guys beat yourself up every day? Another person says abundance means having a money intuition. Choice is what somebody else typed. Mike said it's energy, freedom, dream lives. Yeah, your dream life. Abundance and money is your dream life. Okay, abundance means never having to worry about anything, just knowing it will be there when I need it. Another person said the freedom of no worry and having everything I need. All right, what else do we have going on here? Let's see, a few other people are saying abundance is never enough. Okay, so a few people have some negative definitions. That's good. William is saying unconsciously competent. So that means that you're so much in the flow that it just shows up and you don't even have to think about it. Kind of like breathing. Competent. Roman says, to do what my soul wants. So for some people, it's heavy. For some people, they put hard work. For another, never enough. That's Dylan. He says, I have a dual definition of abundance, both a negative and a positive one. So the negative ones are just what they are, and we're going to clear those. And that's totally true, Marielle. Struggle. Yeah, some people think it's struggle. I got another good one here. Marie says, I'm on the way to experiencing it. Love it. Mary Kay says it's for other people. Money equals power. Yes, for some people, money is power and control. Some people say money always runs out or greed. Somebody said I'm an idiot with it. Okay, what about this one? What about being broke? It takes a lot of money to make money. Saving and hoarding. Money used to be a chain of other people's intentions more powerful than my intention to manifest it for myself. So it's about being controlled by other people, right? Another person typed, money is used for manipulation. Yes. Another person put, it's not safe to ask for what I want. I like that one, Mary. So that's really, really good. Somebody else is saying that they have to be desperate before money shows up. Wow. That's gotta suck. Seriously. You have to go through heartache before it'll show up. Yeah, and what about it doesn't grow on trees? Or that abusive worry and fear thing? Okay, so I want to teach you guys a little bit about truth and what truth feels like. So I want you to just say this inside yourself, and I want you to tell me where you feel this energy in your body. Yes, 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 yes. All right, maybe you have to say it out loud yourself for you to feel it. So say out loud, yes, 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 and feel where you feel that. All right, now I want you to think no, 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 no. Okay, where do you feel that? And you might have to say it out loud yourself. So for me, in my body, I feel yes in my chest and I feel no in my stomach. All right, now everybody's going to be a little different. Just because that's my vocabulary doesn't mean it's true. If you can get really good at that, and for some of you this might be a new experience and you might not think, oh, I can't do it, and I'm just going to ask you to practice a little bit. You can do it in your daily life. You can say, wow, if I take this route home, will it be faster than taking this other route home? Yes or no, right? So try on yes or no, and we're going to try on some of these statements and you tell me if they feel true, okay? Because at the end of the day, we're going to have to get to a lot of truth here. Does it feel true that money equals cash? Money equals cash. Yeah, it feels light. It feels like a part of that's true, or most of it's true. You know, money could be in some other form besides cash. So how about abundance is a constant flow? Does it feel like a yes or no? Think of that. Abundance is a constant flow. Where do you feel that in your body? I feel it in my heart. Yeah, it's a constant flow. That feels true. All right. There might be a better way to phrase that. I mean, there feels like in some languages there might be a little lie, but it feels pretty light. Okay. Abundance and money are freedom. Okay. Now, what's interesting is freedom and money is money. If you ask for money to become your freedom, it won't bring you freedom. The energy of freedom will bring you freedom, and that energy can or cannot be money. So it depends where you're vibing at with that. Basically, freedom's freedom, money is money. They're not the same. Money can't buy you freedom. Only freedom can give you freedom. All right. It's a long-winded explanation, but just try it on. Okay, money equals freedom. Kind of a little bit heavier there. All right, so let's just try this one on. Is money and abundance just a choice? Money and abundance is just a choice. Does that feel light? Yeah, that one actually feels really, really light. So at the end of the day, it's just a choice. Just for you, is love a part of your abundance and money? Just feel like this crunk, like this heavy old ancient door just closed on a lot of people, not everybody. Yeah, but love could be a part of abundance and money, but for some of you, you don't really love it. Okay, try this one on. Having money is hard work. How does that feel? For me, it makes my stomach feel a little funny. Yeah, because it doesn't have to be part of hard work. Hard work is like creation, destruction, form. You make yourself solid. You work. All your molecules like crunch together. And the other way is that money is fun. Money is easy. Can you see how that's lighter, expansive, creation, happy? There's really no joy in this hard work thing. What if you could actually just get paid being you and have it be really easy? That would be fun, huh? Okay. I love it, love it. What about money equals power and control? That was somebody's definition. Well, I actually think that money is just a tool that can be used through our ability to have control over things and have power over things, but true power is really our ability to be loving, kind, and use higher vibrations. So you can have power over things using lower frequencies, and then there's the ability to use raw power and create something good in your world. So it just depends on what your intention is, honestly, behind that one. How about this belief? Money always runs out. Wow, that feels like ugh. It's like a big faucet just got shut off, all right? So that's not true. Greed. Somebody said money is greed based on their definition. So obviously that's not true. It's really the person's intent behind it. Greed is somebody's intent. That's not what money is. Money is actually just neutral. And greed is really funny because it says there's only so much, I've got to grab it all. So there's a lot of fear-based agendas attached to that one for sure. Being an idiot with it is what somebody said. Okay, how light does that feel? Not very much, right? How about not worthy? Somebody wrote, I think money is not, their definition of money was being not worthy. But I want you to try this on for a minute. Could an infinite being really be not worthy? Because that's really just an opinion. That's just like this whole judgment system. It's just your opinion. Okay, somebody's definition of money was broke. That's obviously not true. The person holding it might be broke. That's their deal, but money itself is not broke. How about this one? It takes a lot of money to make money. It's really funny because I've hung out with tons of rich people, and rich people, the ones that I know, let me see. Wow, it's very fascinating. I was just kind of thinking. Most of them made money, the ones that I know, made money from nothing. They just decided they were going to make a choice, made a powerful choice, decided they were going to be profitable from the beginning, and they built these crazy multi-million dollar businesses. I was just kind of Rolodexing through some of my friends. Wow. I know one guy who started with $5,000. Gosh, another one, $10,000. Another one, no money. So I even know this lady. She made $750,000 on a real estate thing in 2 months because literally her angels told her to go buy this property and flip it. So she figured out how to do it, had never done it before, and made $750,000. I know another person who started a business with no money, and now it's like making $100 million marketing things. Started with no money. He brought in a business partner. The business partner put money in the company. about 20 years ago, and now it's a really, really, really big company. But he didn't put any money in it. Wow. Okay, what about this whole thing about money as saving and hoarding? Again, the saving and hoarding. Hoarding is really, I'm not enough. It's kind of a weird energy. Money and control, yes. It's a funny thing. You know what happens in a lot of wealthy families? The kids come to me and they've had wealthy parents and they felt so controlled, they didn't feel like they had their own lives. So I've had to clear those beliefs on people who had money. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because people think that, oh, if I was rich, I'd be so different. Well, sometimes when you grow up rich, you have your own other set of problems. So it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, it's just different problems. So I agree, it's more fun to have rich problems than poor problems. But at the end of the day, there's still things that you're going to have to, they don't have to be problems, but what I'm saying is there's going to be new distractions that you might have to deal with, that you might have to blow up the lies that are attached to it, and you might have to make it different. Is it really true that money and abundance feel like lack? No, that's just an interesting perspective. What about manipulation? You know, manipulation is an interesting energy because if you really think about it, we're really manipulating everybody all the time. I'm manipulating you guys to make a choice to be conscious, right? Hopefully, I'm using my energy in a way that would enhance your life. I'm not using it to control you in a way that would be negative. I think that how we manipulate people is really what our intent is underneath. And that's the part that can be from a higher or lower energy. So it's really just a choice, but we are always manipulating our world into form and creating our reality, right? Money can be used as a form of manipulation, for sure. I see money really as a tool. Manipulation is really, really, really not attached to what money and abundance from the highest definition is all about. So what if one of your greatest gifts and talents is that you are an amazing manipulator? And you're manipulating your energy and your world into place. At the end of the day, in order to change what you don't like, you have to manipulate it a different way. So basically, if you notice, I'm trying to take the wrongness out of manipulation because at the end of the day, we're forming our world. If we get that it's not okay to manipulate in a way that belief could make it's not safe to ask for what you truly want, or something like that. So what about asking? Do you guys feel good about asking for what you truly want? Or do you not ask because you don't think you're going to get it? So you go, why bother? Or you think you're going to get in trouble if you ask, if that's what happened when you were a kid. So we're going to clear all these kind of lies and misinformation about asking. And then, you'll start asking the universe to be manipulated in your favor, bring you the unlimited abundance and money that you really love. All right, so somebody else had said, you have to be desperate before it shows up, or you have to lose it all in order to create it all. So if you have to lose it all, now that obviously doesn't feel true, but if you have to lose it all in order to create it all, that's this whole kind of polarity thing where you have to create things and destroy things. And creation, destruction, hopefully I'm going to get you guys above that kind of energy where you're not doing polarity where you have to create things and then you have to accidentally blow it up so that you can create something new. Because what the highest evolution of you would do is you just keep creating what you want and creating what you want and creating what you want and so on and so on. And then gently letting things fall away that don't want to be here. I mean, how many of you have ever seen people create their life perfect and then just do some sort of secret sabotage thing and blow it all up? It's kind of fun. It's full of lots of drama, but it's probably not what you want to do in the highest evolution of you. All right, what about this one? Money doesn't grow on trees. Well, obviously we know that's a lie. And then there's other things that we've talked about, which is that money could be abusive or worry, or you have fear that it's taken away. And those are obviously all lies too. So there's a truth here about abundance being a constant flow. That felt light. So in the real truth of it, it should be if you're really living who you are, it's a constant flow. All right, so thanks for sending these in. All right, so now we're going to work on some energy clearing statements to clear up all the cool things that you talked about. my clearing statements are kind of interesting. I've programmed into the energy field that you guys are going to download when you say yes to it. I'm going to say the word delete. But sometimes I use short speak, and delete really means across all time, dimension, space, and realities. Okay? So we're going to delete it across every field of energy that you could possibly imagine that you are plugged into at some level. And then we're going to uncreate it, which means we're going to unplug the energy from the first moment you created it. And you're going to go back in time and pull it out like a big weed, even if it was millions of lifetimes ago. And the other clearing part of that, I say the word de-story. So you're taking out the story in your field of energy, and the story has all these lies and untruths plugged into it, right? Sometimes I change the word de-story for destroy. The reason that I do that, energy can't be blown up at the real truth of it, but the story around it can be blown up. So we're basically just taking all the lies out of the story. So it'll be kind of fun. So sometimes I interchange de-story or destroy, but it's clearing pretty much the same angle of energy. So let's talk to you about what kind of stories you might have. If you have the story, money is hard to get, then somewhere you have probably 1,000 gazillion or 100 or so other energies programmed into that one story. Basically, what you're saying is, I believe money is hard to have, and you have to work really hard because I watched my dad do it, because I watched my mom do it, because that's my experience, that's what I had to go do, and therefore you believe that story. And once you've bought and sold that story to yourself, then there's no other reality that can truly be created, because now you're basically banging against all these other hundreds or thousands, literally, of times you believed the opposite, where it's hard. Okay, so that's why we have to blow up all those densities. So we're using energy tools, energy intensity, energy statements that are basically powerful intentions that are going to literally rock your world. So it's going to be kind of fun. I also have programmed other energies into these statements, including that we're clearing any matrix energy that we kind of live in, that we're going to clear all the judgments that you have in everything. We're going to clear all the push and pulls and resistance and reaction and fear and anger and shame and guilt and obligation and all sorts of other things are programmed into those words. I'm just giving you the shortened version of it. And it's basically we're clearing the lies, the falsehoods. And you know what's kind of cool? Some people will ask me, well, we're blowing all the stories up, so does that mean I'm blowing up the good stories? Well, here's actually the truth. The truth is, you can't blow up something that is true. So if I said to you, try to take the energy and blow up the phrase, the universe is always expanding. Can you feel how in your body that energy feels pretty clear? The universe is always expanding. So that feels truth. But you could say, I'm going to uncreate it and delete that story that the universe is always expanding. And at the end of the day, you can't really get rid of it because it's just true. Okay? So do you kind of get the whole deal that we're blowing up the lies? We're not blowing up what's actually truth with a capital T. Another funny thing is if I say to you, you are an infinite being, which means you can take your energy, you can go connect to the sun. So I want you to take your energy and perceive the sun. Okay, so you all thought of the sun. I want to take your energy, perceive a tree. Okay, so you just perceived a tree. I want to ask you to take your energy and go back to when you were the happiest memory in your whole life, whatever that is. Okay, so now you guys all went back in time. So you can kind of see that your energy is infinite. You can play around with it and go backwards and forwards and change things. So you can't really take the story out of who you are at the core of you because it's who you are. It's you. And in a funny way, try this. This is a cool experiment. If you say, I uncreate and delete everything that is me, I uncreate everything that is me, I uncreate and delete everything that is me, I uncreate and delete everything that is me across all time, dimension, space, and reality, you know what will happen? You'll actually get more powerful because what you're doing is you're uncreating and taking out the story of all the lies of who you are. And in a funny way, you're filling back in with pure consciousness itself. Okay, so I know this is kind of a little bit new to some of you guys listening, but I'm trying to inspire you to check out what is true or false. Okay, and clear everything that's false and know for certain that you can't really clear something that's true. It's just who you are. Okay. I've done that, by the way, for a couple of weeks. It's very fun. Everything that Christie is, I uncreate and delete it all. Everything Christie is, I uncreate and delete it all. Everything that Christie is, I uncreate and delete it all. And you want to know what it does? It clears like a whole cool pathway for something new to show up. Because if I'm not any more of my old stories, then I've just created a clean slate for a million gazillion new things to show up. It's really fun. Earlier, we went through those slides and we're talking about making choices and are things lies or truth. And so now we're going to connect to the light and start clearing some of these things that we talked about. In the next sessions, we're going to do it throughout, but I wanted to lay a little bit of a groundwork. Okay, so for a moment, just close your eyes. And if you're driving, obviously you can't close your eyes. I would actually pause it and then just do this part a little later. Later on, once you get used to connecting, you don't have to close your eyes. I never close my eyes hardly anymore when I connect. I'm just always connected. I call it ABC, always be connected. Okay, so take your energy, close your eyes, kind of roll your eyes up a little bit, and I want you to see, sense, or feel the light. Okay. Now take your energy up about 300 feet above your head. There's a dimension there that just kind of opens and you can see, sense, or feel source energy. All right, now I'm tuned into the group so I can feel that some of you guys are a little too low. Take your energy higher and just kind of think I'm going to connect to the source energy that opens the door to all my really cool downloads. Yeah. Okay. Now let this light come into your crown. Yeah. Let this light open up all awareness of who you truly are. Ask this light to come into your third eye and scrubby bubble some of those energies that are blocking you from seeing where your abundance is. Ask this light to come into your ears and open up your spiritual hearing. Ask this light to come into your throat and open up your spiritual communication, knowing that you're totally safe, connected to the light. Ask this light to come into your heart, opening up the part of you that loves you so much that you just want to have unlimited abundance. You want to live it, embody it, be it, and have it be easy. Ask this light to come into your solar plexus, opening up any place that you felt a little sucker punched about money, like you didn't get enough. And we're going to ask that to just kind of delete. Allow the light to come into your stomach area, anywhere you have power control issues with money. You don't feel powerful over it. We're going to ask that to delete. Okay, we're going to allow the light to come into your root. Yes. Allow the light to come into your root, opening up any place you feel rooted in old energy that isn't going to let you move. And we're going to ask that to just sort of delete. And we're going to ask this light to come down your legs, into your knees, into your feet. And we're going to ask this light to be like a beam of light and come into the center of the planet. And I want you to just kind of feel around in the center of the planet. There's a cool dimension where it feels really, really, really blissful. Kind of just like mama love. The kind of mama love that we should have gotten all day long. All right. And ask this light. Imagine there's a little trampoline. It can bounce right back up to us. Okay. And ask this mama love kind of energy to come right back up our feet, our knees, our thighs, our hips, our heart. And I want you to just imagine that there's this energy that's now met your heart. So you're now connected from above and below, right in the center of your heart. And now form an energy that looks like a big energy ball in your heart, like a big sunshine, and expand it out around your whole body, about 12 to 15 feet all the way around you. So now you're connected to the more infinite part of you. And now I want you to take this energy and expand it past the home you're in or the building you're in, wherever that is, and send it love and blessings. Thank you for supporting me. And expand this ball of light out past the city you're in. sending lots of love and light to everybody in that city. And take your energy and expand it out past the state you're in, sending lots of love and light to everybody in the state, knowing all is well. And ask this light to expand past the country you're in, sending lots of love and light to everybody in the country, so that everybody gets a little new awareness, a little consciousness, a little happy, a little abundance, a lot of abundance. Okay, and ask this light to expand past the planet, knowing that you're connected to everybody and everything, and it's safe, right, and good for you to be here right now doing that. Now, if you notice, we could just take your energy and keep going and going and going. Past Pluto, past Mars, past the Sun, and you'll see that there really is no edge to you. If you find the ask to notice where the edge of you is, you'll notice that you can't. So now we're going to start clearing the energy of the lie that says you can't change. So anywhere you guys bought the idea that you can't change, and everywhere you bought the idea that change was slow, will you please delete it, destroy it, uncreate it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality? Okay, one more time. All the places where change is slow and you can't make it happen, or nothing in your life has ever changed before, so why change it now? And all kinds of things that make you say, why bother? Why bother? Why bother? All that stuff. Will you uncreate it, destroy it, and delete all of it now? Everything in your life about money and abundance that won't change ever, will you please delete it, uncreate it, destroy it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality? All right, so you guys are really good. Things blow up a little bit more if you stay pretty expanded. Okay, so just stay expanded. You're not your stuff. Some of you, this is new, and your stuff is going, yeah, but this is my stuff. You know, I worked really hard to get this stuff. So everything creating, you worked really hard to get all this stuff that you have that now wants to go. Uncreate it, delete it, and destroy it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. Anywhere you don't want to be a magnet for abundance, will you uncreate it, delete it, destroy it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality? Anywhere you guys are in a state of stuckness, uncreate, delete, and destroy it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. Okay, everywhere you don't like being in your body and you don't want to change for sure, will you delete all that? All right, how many of you don't want to make a new choice because new choices are scary, or new choices mean you're going to have to leave something behind and you don't want to do it? Will you uncreate it, delete it, destroy it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality? Anything else that you guys have that says, I can't make a new choice, or choice was taken away from me and I really don't ever want to do it again? I don't want to choose. Why would I even do that? Because I don't know what I want to choose. Any of that confusion. And any of the lies and destruction that you bought with any of that, will you uncreate it, delete it, destroy it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality? And so anywhere else that you don't feel like you get to love money or love yourself enough to get it, or love yourself to have enough abundance to keep you safe and have a lot of fun. Everything that is, will you uncreate it, delete it, and destroy it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality? All the lies that you guys bought, that I'm never enough, I can't be enough, I shouldn't be enough, will you delete all that? All the places that you guys are hiding from yourself, so all the walls and barriers and pretend energies that you're hiding from yourself that you don't want to let go of, uncreate, delete, destroy across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. Wow. You guys like to hide a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, everything that is, will you uncreate it, delete it, destroy it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality? All right, I'm going to do that one a few more times, okay? So everywhere else you guys are hiding your infinite self from yourself. That's a really cool trick, by the way, because you can't really do it. Uncreate it, delete it, destroy it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. So anywhere you guys are hiding yourself from yourself, uncreate it, delete it, destroy it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. I'm hearing everywhere you guys are hiding yourself from yourself, like who you really are as a soul in a body from yourself. And anywhere else you're carrying the weight of anybody else on your shoulders, we're going to delete that too. Uncreate it, delete it, destroy it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. All right, stay expanded. Some of you guys are thinking too much. So thinking, like if you're thinking, is this working? This is really weird. What's up? Any of you guys doing that? And so just kind of going for it and saying yes to every energy I offer you. Will you uncreate it, delete it, destroy it across all time, dimension, space, and reality? All right. How many of you guys are bleeding hearts and want to just, keep doing and doing and doing the same thing over and over and over again so that you can get respect from other people, even if they don't want you to be abundant? Okay, will you uncreate it, delete it, destroy it across all time, dimension, space, and reality? Yeah, who are you guys being poor for? All right, any of that stuff? Uncreate it, delete it, destroy it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Is there anything else that you bought about this reality that really isn't even true, that you bought from society and your parents and all that stuff, and it just bogs you down, makes you heavy? Delete it all, uncreate it all, destroy it all across all time, dimension, space, reality. Anywhere you still feel like you're kind of a victim in the past, present, or future, will you uncreate it, delete it across all time, dimension, space, and reality? All right, so one of your energies is energetically telling me to clear something. So I'm talking to all of your souls, by the way, and kind of just reading the energy of the group and clearing what's most beneficial for everybody. So some of you guys have the belief that I don't like being here in a body. Now, it doesn't mean that you're suicidal. It just means like that you're, you feel like you're dropped off on the spaceship and your real friends left you here on this crappy island called Earth, right? Okay, so anybody who feels any remorse for being in a body, will you uncreate it, delete it, destroy it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality? Okay, anywhere else you guys are like, oh, beam me up, get me out of here, uncreate it, delete it, destroy it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality, because that's going to block you from truly living down here, because there's always 1 foot in the door and 1 foot out of the door thinking, I don't really want to be here. Okay, so everything that shuts off your power because you don't really want to be here. So every time you take 2 steps forward, you got to take 2 steps back just to prove that you don't want to be here, kind of that rebellious spunkiness. Uncreate it, delete it, destroy it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. Woo! All right, so thank you. Whoever's soul just kind of tapped me on the shoulder and pointed that out. So thank you. All right, so now we're going to go into some of the money ones. So everywhere you're not allowed to be free, have abundance, be in constant flow, everything that is, will you delete it all, uncreate it all, destroy it all? Everywhere you guys are not allowed to have cash money prizes or any of these cool things, anything that is, will you delete it all, uncreate it all, destroy it all? Anywhere you guys are not allowed to have anything that showed up on your wish list, will you delete all that? All right, so all the secrets that you guys feel about money, delete all those, uncreate all those, across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. Okay, anywhere you guys are beating yourself up, not loving yourself, paralyzing yourself, procrastinating, will you destroy, delete, uncreate all that across all time, dimensions, space, and reality? Anywhere you're suffocating yourself with money and the obligation to debt, will you uncreate and delete all that? Anywhere that you don't feel you have the ability to know about the truth of what it is you need to do in the future to guide yourself and make a lot of money, have a lot of money, will you uncreate it and destroy all that? Anywhere you guys feel like you have no choice, will you delete all that across all time, dimensions, space, and reality? Everywhere you feel like you can't have love, wow, you guys have a lot of energy about love. Uncreate and delete all that. Now, some of you guys are wondering, like I'm talking like I can see everything. I have you guys kind of like in an energy bubble, and I can check you all out and see what percentage of you is releasing things and what percentage of you is thinking, oh, I can't, which is kind of weird, yes. You guys can do this too. I'm not doing anything unique that you guys don't have the talent and ability to do, because you're sizing up your energy and your future all the time, whether you know it or not. So we just got to open the door so that you're more aware of it. So everywhere you can have a lot of choice, a lot of love, will you de-story and delete all that? All the energy that you're using against yourself so you can't have your dream life, uncreate it and delete all that. Some of you guys are tuning out. I can tell you that you think the energy thing sometimes isn't working. So a few of you are going, God, this is weird. You're right. Because you're thinking, I've kept all this for like so long and now all of a sudden it's going and it could be that easy. Well, kind of. You have to understand, I programmed so much consciousness into the energy I'm using. So just really, really take that. Take all the pure consciousness, which is truly you, okay, which is truth. You know, truth does heal. But I would expand that and saying the energy of truth, the energy of pure consciousness is what's healing everything. So everywhere you guys are tuning out, uncreate it, destory it. Everywhere your mind wants to grab all the stuff that we're clearing back, uncreate it and delete it. Everywhere you guys are worrying about your future or think that you're incompetent in any level on anything, all right, uncreate it, delete it, destory it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. Everywhere you guys aren't doing what your soul actually wants from you, which is basically to be abundant, be happy, be loved, and have a really good trip down here, make a lot of friends, make a lot of fun, make a lot of love, make a lot of money, okay, and everything in the way of that, will you uncreate and delete it and destory it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. All right, so now we're going to go into struggle and not having enough. Okay, so everywhere you guys can't have enough and you struggle, uncreate it, delete it, destory it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. Everywhere you guys are making it hard, one more time, uncreate it, delete it, destory it across all time, dimensions, space, reality. Everywhere you think money is for other people and not you. Wow. You guys think money is for everybody else. Crazy. Okay, everything that is, will you uncreate it, delete it, destory it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Isn't that kind of funny? That you guys think that everybody else gets money, but I don't. Okay, whatever that is, uncreate it. About 60% of you believe that. Uncreate it, delete it, destory it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. Everywhere you guys think that everybody else gets the good life and you don't, and that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and you've been cheated out of your life's destiny because you have no money or not enough money, will you uncreate it, delete it, destory it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. Everywhere you're not allowed to have all the power, all the money, all the control in your own life, will you delete it, destory, and uncreate it. Everywhere you're not allowed to have power, control to change your destiny, delete all that too. Everywhere your money always runs out before you have enough to fill it up. Everywhere you don't have enough, so therefore it always runs dry, will you uncreate it and delete all that too. Having too much money would be greedy. And what is too much, by the way? Like, what is your limit? Okay, everything that is, will you uncreate it, delete it, destory it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. Everywhere you're being silly with it, an idiot with it, stupid with it, all that, will you uncreate it, delete it, destory it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. Now, I don't think you guys are stupid idiots, but sometimes I have to call up what you guys think about yourself. Okay, so a few of you guys, a lot more than you would think, by the way, about 55% of you, think at some level that you've been stupid and an idiot with money. All right, so everything that is, uncreate it, delete it, destory it across all time, dimensions, space, reality. Everywhere you guys feel broke and broken about it, uncreate it and delete all that across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. You know, at the end of the day, it just takes a powerful intention, a powerful choice to make your life go in a different way. So, wherever it takes a lot of money to make money, will you delete it, uncreate all that? Everywhere you don't save it, don't allow yourself to save it, don't allow yourself to keep it, delete all that. Everywhere you have fear-based agendas so that you have to hoard it because you'll never, ever, 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 ever have enough again, uncreate it and delete all that. Okay, how many of you guys are hoarders because you don't think you'll ever, ever get it again? Delete it, uncreate it, destory it, across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Everywhere you're basically controlled and not controlled by money. It's kind of all this because it's creating this resistance, reaction, and chaos because part of you wants to be controlled by money and have it, and part of you wants to control money. And there's parts of you that don't want to have money because then you have to control it, or you're maybe not willing to control others with it because, you know, if you have a lot of money, then people are going to come to you and then you have to tell them no or yes or maybe, and it creates all this other weird stuff. So everything that is, will you uncreate it and delete it? What if you guys were willing to be the person in the neighborhood that creates the most amount of change in the neighborhood by being totally wealthy, totally conscious, and then inspire everybody around you? Everywhere you're not willing to be the inspiration that your community and your family needs, will you uncreate it, delete it, destory it across all time, dimension, space, reality? Everywhere it's not safe to control others or have enough money to control things in your world, will you uncreate it, delete it, destory it across all time, dimension, space, and reality? Everywhere money is lack or poverty, delete all that too. Everywhere it's a tool for manipulation, delete all that. Everywhere it's not safe to manipulate your world, uncreate and delete all that. Wow, you guys do not like being manipulated, even if it's good. Okay, because you can have good manipulation, right? If you're about to jump off a bridge and it's not your highest dust to happily talk to you and convince you that maybe there's another choice, that would be good manipulation, right? I know I'm pushing this button on manipulation because people have such a reaction on it, like, ooh, manipulation's bad. Everything that is, well, you uncreate it, delete it, destory it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Everywhere it's not safe to ask for what you want, delete all that. Everywhere you have to be desperate before it shows up, delete all that. Everywhere it doesn't grow on trees, delete all that. Everywhere it's abusive, worry, and can be taken away, delete all that. Okay, so uncreate and delete any other leftover anything that's just kind of hanging out in your energy field that really wants to go right now. Okay, expand out 300 feet all the way around you and just think, woo, no matter what it takes right now, I'm going to uncreate it, delete it, destroy all these lies, misinformation, parts of me that wants to gamble and pretend that I don't control my money. Will you uncreate it, delete it, destroy it across all time, dimension, space, and reality? You guys did a really, really good job. Okay, so here's what you guys are going to do at home. You're going to do the energy statements whenever you feel density or vibrations, that are kind of heavy. And you're going to ask everything in your world, does it feel light and good and true? Or does it feel like a lie? And you're going to start sorting out your lies and your misinformation. And then I want you guys to start thinking about what kind of changes would you really have if you lived truly, truly in an unlimited possibility field? What are you willing to change? So be in truth. Clear up everything that's not true. Just delete it and uncreate it. All right. So I would just love to thank you guys for showing up here, being the best that you can be. Thank you so much. All right. And if you get stuck, get confused, get anything, just uncreate it and delete it all and just see what happens. Okay. All right. So I will see you at the next session. I cannot wait. Your journey has just begun. And believe me, it's going to get better and better and better and better. Please continue to the next Unlimited Abundance Journey session. This is copyrighted material 2011 with Christie Marie Sheldon, all rights reserved. No part of this broadcast and material may be reproduced or transmitted in any form by any means, electronic or mechanic, or by any information storage or retrieval system without permission in writing.